The opening ceremony this morning will be turned over to Ms. Richards, and she'll make the proper introductions.
Good evening. I am just so elated to have tonight for us, for our opening ceremony. We have Amite Westside Magnet Middle School, and we have Amite High School that would be conducting. For the Pledge of Allegiance, we will have Miss Brianna McKnight, following our patriotic song, Kalia Tobias, and then we will be honored with Amite High School's choir doing the alma mater.
Create your new password.
Will we please stand?
You can use the one you had last time. You can use that one. You got to put it twice.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank all of you.
Is there any parents of our students in the house?
Please stand if
Please
you're
stand.
representing some of these young people, or the one that did the pledge.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Jenkins.
Present.
Mr. Toler.
Here.
Ms. Abrams.
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland.
Present.
Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Bush.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here.
Ms. Simmons.
Here.
Ms. Dominguez.
Present.
Do I hear a motion to consider approval of the Board of Minutes for October 1st, 2019?
Move to adopt them.
Mr. Westmoreland, and a second by
I'll second.
Ms. Robin Abrams. Any objection? Motion passes. Item 2A, to recognize the President's Student of the Month, and then right after that, we'll recognize the recipient of the Enos Jake Bailey Above and Beyond Award, and I'll come up and call up these individuals.
We're going to ask Ms. Averill Turner to come up.
The first award is to present it to Kalia Tobias. Is she here? Would she come forward? Okay, and then also, is Miss English here? Miss English and Miss Morris is part of this, too. Miss Morris and Miss English. You want to come up? Okay, Miss English, all right. Kalia, this is the President's Student of the Month Award, and you have a special certificate as well as a note written by the President of the Board and $20 for you. All right. Congratulations. All right. Now, would you like to say something? All right.
Thank you, Mrs. Steele, superintendents, and board members and audience for this grand opportunity to represent my school. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for their support. To my family and friends, and to all of Amy Westside Middle Magnet School's faculty and staff, I'd like to thank you for showing me how I can achieve all my goals and accomplish high levels of success, regardless of what obstacles are before me. Also, I would like to thank my principals, Ms. English and Ms. Turner, for showing me that warriors always strive for excellence. Last but not least, I would like to thank you, the school board, all of you great, amazing people, for this wonderful opportunity to stand before you as a proud participant and leader of my school, Amy Westside Middle Magnet.
I just want to say that Kalia is an honor student at Amy Westside. She's a member of the Junior Beta Club, Junior Y Hoops, volleyball, and basketball teams. She's also a member of Mount Cana Missionary Baptist Church of Arcola, where she's a member of the choir, the dance team, and the youth ministry. Kalia is always ready to lend a helping hand when she sees someone in need. And with that being said, she loves to volunteer to do things. This summer, she volunteered at God's Storehouse, and every year she volunteers to help with A Meet Biddy basketball. So Kalia, I could think of no better person to receive this award than Kalia.
Oh, we need a picture. Both you ladies, too. The next award is the Certificate of Recognition for the Enos F. Jake Bailey Above and Beyond Award. And you have a gift certificate. Let's call up the person first. So that's Miss Ernest Robinson. That would be you. Okay, you want to come right over here? Okay. I was thinking you were part of the other one. This is the NSF Jake Bailey Above and Beyond Award. As well. Okay. She's coming up. All right, thank you for coming. As well as Mike's Catfish gift certificate. All right. And we would like for you to say a few words.
First, I want to thank God for allowing me to receive this award. And it caught me by surprise because I knew nothing. But when I made it home to check my mailbox, and there was this letter, I'm like, what is the school board writing me for? You know? And I open it, and it says, I received this award. Where my daughter stepped in, and I say, China, what is this? She said, Mama, you weren't supposed to know this. Then I called Miss Turner. She said, you weren't supposed to know any of this. So I thank God for this, and I just thank God for allowing me to be the person that He wants me to be. Wherever I'm needed, I want to be there. And if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be able to do this. Gotcha. And just thank you all. And I thank Miss Turner and Miss English for, I'm pretty sure you all nominated me for this. So I thank you all for this.
A few words to say about Ms. Robinson. Ms. Robinson is a paraprofessional at Amite Westside Middle Magnet School who definitely goes above and beyond her job title. In addition to performing her required job duties, she will do whatever is asked at her at any time. She also volunteers to be an assistant for volleyball and basketball. She loves students, she loves her co-workers, and she loves school. Now, the informal side of Ms. Robinson acts like she's everyone's mother in Westside, including mine. Many of days when it has been cold, I would get out of my car, first thing she would ask, Miss English, where's your coat? And I have to tell her, Miss Robinson, it's in the office or it's in my car where you need to go get it and put it on. That's Miss Robinson. Miss Robinson would also correct me and anyone else who walks through the wrong door in the hall at Westside. She is our hall monitor. She is our teacher. She is our disciplinarian. She goes above and beyond. And the last thing I want to share about Miss Robinson, if you have never had banana pudding before, please take Miss Robinson on the offer of eating her banana pudding because she absolutely loves to do so and she does it with a touch of love. So Miss Robinson, we love you and this is your time to shine. So thank you.
We'd like to recognize any of her family members. Would you stand up? Or this is representing anybody here? And also the student of the month, I need your family members to stand up. I'm sorry.
Just say.
Okay.
Yeah. We can test it, you know. 5th and, 19th.
At this time, we're going to have a poem by Miss Brianna McKnight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brianna McKnight. I'm an 8th grader at Amite Westside Middle Magnet School. Tonight, I'm going to be reading a poem written by Eve Moran. She was born in 1916, died in 1992. On a pad of my thumbs are rolls, whirls, and wheels. And a unique design, mine alone. What a treasure to own. My own flesh, my own feelings. No other, however grain or base, can ever contain the same. My signature. That's signature. Thumb of the pages of my time. My universe key. My singularities. Impress implant. I am myself. Out of my atoms, parts I am the sum, and out of my blood and my brain, I make my tear weather, my own sun and rain, and print my mark upon the world wherever I shall become. We are the proud students of Amite Westside Middle Magnet School. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very impressive. And tonight, what you saw tonight and these individuals that received this award, that's really what this is all about. And we're just so proud of these individuals. The next item on the agenda would be academic update. And we have a public input before we vote on it. Do we have to vote on this?
No.
Okay. All right. So you want to come up and speak first?
No, I want to hear.
Okay, you want to hear first? Okay. All right, since we don't vote. All right, 3A update would be Ms. Fussell.
Good evening. Good evening.
We are blessed in Tangipahoa Parish to have exceptional school counselors, and so you know all the responsibilities that go along with that. Recently, with all the shifts with Jump Start and the regulations regarding the completion of FAFSA for all of our high school students, we were blessed to have Career Compass of Louisiana. I think it's been 5 years now. They actually came to us 5 years ago with grant money. And they started at Amite High and Independence High working with our 10th graders, helping them figure out what their career path would be, what jumpstart pathway they would take. So since then, we have expanded to all of our high schools. They work with our 10th graders and our seniors, and I've invited them here tonight to tell you more about the services they provide to our students. So I want to introduce our Director of Strategic Partners at Career Compass, Ms. Crystal Birch, and she has with her Ms. Jerry Bankston, who serves 2 of our schools. But as we were talking before, she's also a floater for LASVA, and she was at Independence High doing a FAFSA event before she came here tonight. So we thank both of them, and they have a small presentation for you.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. I am one of the directors over partnerships for Career Compass. And for those of you who are not familiar with the nonprofit, I'm just going to give a little bit of background. We were founded actually about 15 years ago out of Baton Rouge by 2 school teachers who just had a passion for helping students beyond high school. Our goal, our mission is to remove obstacles that keep students from attending a post-secondary education of any type. And that can be a 2-year college, a technical college, the military, 4-year university, any type of training or education after high school. So our goal is to remove those obstacles that stand in the way. And we are proud to partner with Tangipahoa Parish Schools and absolutely love working with the counselors and Miss Lisa. Just to share a little bit more about us, we are currently in 156 public schools statewide, 36 school districts, and we have now actually hit 100 college and career coaches that work with those students across the state. Jerry is, as Miss Lisa said, one of the coaches that works here in Tangipahoa, one of the best that we have, so you're very lucky to have her. Our goal is to increase college applications and also remove obstacles. And we've been doing that since 2006, and you can see that the number of applications that we've had has increased significantly. Last year, we actually hit 100,000 applications or students that we've worked with that have applied to attend post-secondary school, which was really exciting for us. Even though those are big numbers, it's about every single student for us. We understand, and it's very apparent today, that this district wants to provide the best for your students. And we are happy to be able to partner with you to add a little bit more than the normal help that they receive. Deciding what students want to do is a really big task, and now they are forced to do that fairly young. I actually have a 10th grade student myself in Rapides Parish, and the thought of him deciding what he is going to be forever in 10th grade is a little overwhelming, even for him with lots of help at home. So we understand the extra help that they need and are happy to be able to provide some of that early on. We actually started when we were founded as a nonprofit with our 12th grade services, which is newer to the district. And with those services, our trained coaches, they all have degrees, and we provide over 60 hours a year to those coaches on, the latest and greatest with college and career coaching. The FAFSA alone can be quite a task. So they're very trained on all of the things that they need to know to work with students. So we work one-on-one with high school seniors, equipping them with the knowledge that they need with post-secondary information. That can be anything from career exploration to FAFSA completion, scheduling to take the ACT multiple times if needed. We also help them obtain waivers for the ACT or also for college applications and walk them through that college application process. Basically, any obstacle that they may hit along the way, we kind of hold their hands and walk them through that process. And that is our 12th grade services. And here last year, just to give you an idea, we worked with 1,029 12th grade students, completed the process with us. That equaled 2,990 total meetings or encounters with the 12th grade students in your district. And 1,000 of those 1,010 students, which was 98%, applied to a post-secondary program where they could be successful. And that's really important for us to emphasize, as we do not just help a student apply to any college, and we make sure that they actually meet the requirements for that college and can successfully attend, and we look at the financial aspect and everything with them. So that many students were actually prepared and had a plan for after high school last year, and we will continue to work with the seniors this year as well. As Ms. Lisa mentioned, we also provide college and career awareness seminars. We offer that in grades 6 through 11, and here in Tangipahoa, we work with 10th grade. Those are tailored. They're grade specific on what students need to know at each grade level to prepare them, so it's kind of like stepping stones. They learn more about themselves in the seminars, and then also more about career options and what they should be doing now to prepare for their future. Last year in Tangipahoa, for 10th grade, we provided one fall and one spring seminar to every 10th grade student, and that totaled 82 seminar sessions. We saw 893 total 10th grade students that attended those seminars. We've also have we're really excited about this. We have a couple of new mobile apps. That's the thing now. Every teenager just about has a phone, and we say teenagers, but I myself, I think, have about 65 apps on my phone. So that is kind of the newest thing, and we decided, especially with the FAFSA mandate, that we needed to be able to reach not only students, but also parents in new ways, to be able to give them up-to-date information on everything that they need to know to prepare for life after high school, and even some things while they're in high school too. So in that app, there's one for students, which is the Career Compass Ask Me app. And in that app, we have scholarships that are available to students. We have someone that curates all of the scholarships, makes sure that they're, legitimate scholarships, and we feature them on our app as well. We have assistance for completing the FAFSA. Parents can actually connect with our coaches through the app, which we had a lot of last year, just little questions that they may have about completing the financial aid application or college application, where they can get a response from their actual coach and not have to drive up to the school and meet with anyone. So that's been a really great feature that we've also added just the past couple of years. And the parent app is just the Career Compass Parent is what it's called. And we also will be adding things as we go with the apps about new jobs in the area. I think one of the most beneficial things about the app is that we can actually tailor it to specific locations. So a student here in Tangipahoa would not necessarily see the same information as a student in North Louisiana. So we have information about colleges or scholarships specific to this area for your students and parents to see. So those are kind of our newest, latest, and greatest. I just wanted to share one quick story of a student that we worked with. She said, I knew where I wanted to go to college and what I wanted to study, but the problem was that she was clueless on how to get there. Her college and career coach helped with the college application, making sure that she met all of the requirements to get in, also helped with FAFSA, And she didn't even know what FAFSA was at the time. They talked about TOPS and what was required and worked on applying for scholarships too. She said, my coach helped make the transition to college so much easier. Career Compass is like a friend to me. They're actually more like family. And we thank each and every one of you for allowing us to have those interactions with students and to be able to partner with your counselors and staff to be able to really have the best job ever. We love what we do, and we love working with your kids. So, do you want to add anything?
I am Jerry Bankston, and I'm a former teacher from Tangipahoa Parish at Ponchatoula High School. And whenever I had children, stayed home to raise them. And then this opportunity arose 5 years ago for me to be able to work with, I call them my big kids again. And I just have a heart for these kids. And it's such a rewarding job getting to work with them, because I had a student even come today at Ponchatoula, and she just said, I have 6 jobs. I don't know where to start. I want to go to college. She didn't even realize she had qualified for the top scholarship. She was about to transfer. She said, can we go ahead and apply to Southeastern today? And I said, absolutely. I'll sit down and help you with that. And we got to the part where she had to pay for her application fee. And she looked at me and she said, well, I have 6 jobs. And then, that just put a light bulb off in my head. And I said, are you able to pay this? And she goes, I might can transfer some money from my savings account, but I need to see, what I have due and blah, blah. And so we as college and career coaches are able to assess a child's situation like that. And I was able to pay for her application fee today so she wouldn't have to do that and take money out of her savings account. So the sigh of relief that came from her was just, that's it. That's what I say. You have one student, not even one student a year. It's every opportunity with these kids that we meet with that we're able to touch their lives. There's so many, I just feel like some fall through the gaps sometimes. They might not have that support from home. They don't know that they can go to school potentially for free with a Pell Grant. And just to have them say, oh my goodness, I didn't even know this was a possibility for me. So I feel like we're really being able to impact these kids' lives and change their entire future and their kids' futures and so on and so forth for generations to come. So I do thank you for this opportunity for allowing us to be in Tangipahoa Parish.
I have a question. So how do the students know about you, about the program? How do they get that word in the high schools?
We actually get in touch with them. We have a list. So I work with seniors, and so we are given a list of seniors and their schedules, and we are able to pull them.
So you contact all of them?
We contact every single student. Not one is not met with. So 400 and however many students at Ponchatoula High School, 300 and however many at Hammond High School, every student in the entire parish, we complete a plan with by the time they graduate. They know what they're doing. By the time that they cross the stage, they have a plan A and a plan B in place.
So
they
that
know
you
what
start
they're
in their
doing.
senior year?
We start with their senior year. And like Crystal was mentioning, we do have seminars where we introduce ourselves to them as 10th graders and have them to start thinking about their options. But their senior year, we start meeting with them one-on-one.
Okay. Any other comments from the board?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Crystal, you said that last year you as 12th graders, that you touched 1,029 seniors from our parish. Do you know one of them was my son?
I did not.
And you know that Jerry
Did they do a good job?
Wonderful. And of course, I love Jerry. We're family, but she was wonderful with Dakota. And he came home a couple of times and said, Dad, I met with cousin Jerry again today. And, he was just, and now I have a 10th grader as Jerry has a 9th grader at Ponchatoula High School. So Faith's looking forward to doing the same thing. So I want to say thank you from a parent standpoint, because it's really a great program. And she is one of the best, if not the best, you have on that.
She is. Awesome.
Thank you.
Is your office on Club Deluxe, or is that some other kind of comp? What is that?
That's Compass Career. They're a private.
Oh, that's the welding?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have, different, they're a private school, but they have welding and cosmetology. I'm trying to think, a lot of programs. That's what, when I was introduced to the company, I was like, wait, are y'all Compass Career? Wait, I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's
But
different.
We actually don't have a local office. Our coaches work in the schools.
Okay. Any other comments? Or? All right, thank you so much. That was very
y'all.
enlightening. Thank you.
I just wanted to add something they did, because Mr. Bush was talking about his son. At the end of the year, I get a document from them, and it has every senior's name and every time they met, and gives me a little synopsis of what happened in that meeting. So let's say, like, my son was a senior last year too, so I would have been able to tell when they gave me that, hey, they called Brian in, he said this or he said that. So that was a request of our counselors, and this is the most important thing. It's a partnership. So our school counselors are given the support, and Career Compass comes in and adds that extra level, but it's hand in hand, so they know what's going on together. So we are blessed, and I thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Next item, 4A, consider committee reports. Finance. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot you. Come on. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, it's on. Yes. I think this is a fabulous opportunity for students. Probably long overdue, because as my husband tells the story, he never knew he could go to college when he was in high school. So it is a valuable tool for students to realize the possibilities of going to college or a training program to further their education after high school. My concern is it available to all students? Because as they alluded to, there are some students that don't have support at home, so they need more support at school. Then there are others, given their personalities, disabilities, what have you, are not going to be proactive enough to say, hey, what do I need to do to get to the next level? This is what I want to do. How do I get there? And I'm just afraid that those students get lost in the shuffle. So if there's not already something in place to address, say, students with disabilities and the opportunities that are available for them in post-secondary opportunities, if it's not already there, can we create that? Can we be the district that sets the standard for all students for post-secondary opportunities? Because the opportunities are there for all students, but they're just not made aware or presented with them at the high school level. So that's one concern. And the other is, I know Ms. Fussell said that they work hand in hand with the counselors, but I have to say, I think it depends on the counselor, and that more training is needed for the counselors at the schools. And I think that's probably the most important piece, because we have 7 high schools, I think. So you think if there's an average of 500 seniors per school, that's a lot of seniors. And there are 1 or 2 people to be able to touch all these seniors. That's nearly impossible feat. So I think more training with your counselors that are already in place every day at the school to be able to reach all of the students would be more impactful. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, item 4A, consider committee reports. Finance Committee, October 1st, 2019.
Move to accept.
A motion by Mr. Toller, a second by Ms. Richards. Any objection? Motion passes. Number 5, superintendent's reports and recommendations, A, B, and C.
Yes, Madam President. First of all, I would like to recognize and have the board recognize this week as National School Lunch Week. You know, our school food service employees serve a great purpose in our system every day in preparing, I don't know how many lunches and breakfast meals for our students, many, many thousands, that provide free breakfast and free lunch for every student in this parish. And I was talking to, the last 2 weeks, I was in front of 2 cafeteria groups of employees, and both times just letting them know how important their job is in our parish, and that many times that the meals that they prepare are the healthiest meals, and sometimes the only meals that our students are receiving. And so it's really a ministry that they're doing in the cafeterias across our parish. But I have a proclamation, a resolution that I'd like to read, and I would like to ask the board to, adopt this in honor of all of our food service employees across the parish. And tonight, we have Ms. Kendra here, who is our director, Ms. Kendra Reed, our director of food services, and she coordinates and orchestrates this whole program of school food service. And I'd like to just have her stand up. And if there's any, I don't know if there's any other food service employees here, but Ms. Kendra, we thank you for what you do every day, the special diets, all of the things that you have to consider when you're preparing meals for, our students of almost 20,000 students across the parish. So I'm going to read this, and if you have anything you'd like to say, that'd be a good time to do it, okay? Thank you. So this is National School Lunch Week resolution, resolution. Whereas all child nutrition programs are dedicated to the health and well-being and overall development and academic success of our children, and whereas there is a need for continuing nutrition education to enhance good practices, and whereas good eating practices help keep, get choked up here with the resolution. Miss Bailey,
Let me read that.
I'm sorry.
What line are you on?
Just start over.
Right here. Okay. Whereas child nutrition professionals possess the knowledge and skills necessary to prepare and serve nutritionally balanced, delicious, and safe meals to students and dedicate their careers to keeping students healthy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tangipahoa Parish School Board recognizes the week of October the 14th through the 18th, 2019 as National School Lunch Week, and encourages administrators, teachers, support staff, parents, students, and all other citizens to become more aware, concerned about the nutritional habits of their children and themselves in hopes of achieving a more healthful citizenry for the future. And be it further resolved that this week be devoted to recognizing the dedicated, hard-working people who make the school breakfast and school lunch programs a reality in our public schools throughout the parish. And be it finally resolved that a copy of this resolution be included in the proceedings of the Tangipahoa Parish School Board. So what would be your pleasure here?
Thank you.
You need us to,
Do we need a motion to adopt?
I would move to adopt the resolution.
And second.
a motion by Mr. Duncan and a second by Mr. Toller. Any objection?
Well, I know we had a few people wanted to say something, Ms. Kendra.
Did we have somebody that wants to speak? Ms.
I
Kendra?
would like Ms. Kendra to address it. Madam President, if you could sign that resolution. Thank you.
Good evening. I want to thank the board and thank Ms. Stilley. Mr. Brett is my immediate supervisor for having the chance to recognize all of the child nutrition workers in our district and throughout America. Because this is not just a week that we celebrate here in Tangipahoa Parish, we celebrate it nationwide. So just to kind of let you know the theme, they select a theme every year, and the theme for this school year is School Lunch, What's on Your Playlist. And what the theme focuses on this year is the wide variety of dishes that can be customized in today's school lunch. So for instance, I'm gonna give you a for instance, you could take chicken, and you could do different things with chicken. So how do you be versatile with that piece, that menu item? So for us, we can do different things. We do chicken tenders, we do oven fried chicken, we do baked chicken, and we do barbecue chicken. So you take that one item and you make it versatile into different other menu items. And to just kind of go back to what Ms. Stilley was saying, for your information, 2018 and 19, we served 2.4 million school lunches for the entire year. And per day, we serve 15,000 lunches a day. So that's a lot of preparing, a lot of servicing, and a lot of serving the students on a daily basis. So if you know of anybody that is a child nutrition worker and works in this particular department, thank them, because just this week we're doing this, they provide this every single day. So if you know anybody, just make sure you thank them for all the hard work that they do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President?
Yes.
Just wanted to, every time that we do this, I always just like to point out the fact that my mother was a cafeteria manager for our district for many, many years, retired after 30 years. All of our school food service workers just have a special place in my heart. Being raised by one of those managers, I know that our workers oftentimes are the first people in the building getting ready for our students to be there so that they can be welcomed with a nice, hot, healthy breakfast. And all of the school food service workers that I had interacted with as a child were always very passionate about the work that they did. They were some of the hardest working people I've ever known. And they really do, or you get the sense from them when you interact with them, that they do view this as a mission, that this is something that they really love. And so it's always important to me, and I hope that the other board members will make a point when they go to our campuses to at least find one school food service worker and just tell them thank you for what they do. I know that they really appreciate it, and they sometimes get unfairly beat up on Facebook, by the way, and so I try to get on there when I do see it, because a lot of the stuff that our parents complain about are things that are not within the control of our department or school food service workers, because we have one of the things that they have to do as part of their job is comply with all of these complicated regulations that are pushed down on us from the federal government, which include, serving size. Every little tray, these little plastic trays that we have to do, determines how many pieces of peaches the student can get, and they have to do all of that kind of stuff. So it's an important job. It's a big job, and I hope that our workers know how much we all appreciate them.
Anybody else have a comment?
A question. My children love the lunch at Punch Hill High School, so that stuff that went on last week, don't let that bother you. Because I have a daughter, my son just graduated, and I've never heard him complain one time. When will the 4-year free program, what year are we in now? Are we in the third year?
I'm glad you asked that, Mr. Randy. We are in year 3. So 2021 will be our last year underneath that particular set of 4 years under the program. And then we'd have to come to the table and decide whether we're going to continue or not.
Okay. Who will decide that?
You all, Ms. Stilley, and I have.
But the criteria depends on.
It depends on eligibility. It goes
Yeah.
on number of students that are eligible.
Right.
So I have a contact person at the state who I deal with directly, and they are willing to come and, discuss with you all whatever needs to be discussed to figure out what we need to do.
Thank you for all
Yes,
you do.
sir.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And I want to say something too. My late husband, Jake Bailey's mom, was a cafeteria worker at Hammond High when it was at over there where the Neal Corporation buildings are. And so that cafeteria workers are special to me also. But also, I've been touring the schools all up and down the parish, and a week or so ago, I went to O.W. Dillon at lunchtime. It just happened to be lunchtime. So they took me in the cafeteria. I always asked to go in there too, not to eat, but to visit them. But that day, it smelled so good. It was some kind of barbecue beef or something on a bun. And so I made a big thing of it. And so she fixed me a box to take with me and one for Bill, who was driving Miss Daisy that day. And so we both sat in the car and ate the most delicious, wonderful lunch. And it was, so I'm really telling on myself because I didn't pay for it.
Don't tell Kendra.
That's right. But I normally, I go in the cafeterias and I want to eat all the time, but I never ask. Anyway, it was really good, so it's very special. All right, any other comments?
I just have one. We do our Monday Magic, and one of the things we learned this after week 1, but now we go into the cafeterias first in the mornings because they're there bright and early, and we have the cafeteria employees their own donuts for them to have during their break, and they just so appreciate it when we all go in and we're go in the back. Maybe we're not allowed to go back there, but we just go back there with their cooking and stuff, and we talk to them. And several have made comments that they've never had that happened before. Just, the central office, people coming in and just visiting and appreciating what they do. And so, we want to appreciate them every week and not just this week. So we will continue to do that, Ms. Kendra. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, we need to vote on the resolution. I thought we did that. We didn't do it. Okay, any objection? All right, resolution passes. And I do have a PS on that. I wanted to say, I have to go back to O.W. Dillon this week to bring something they asked for, and I was telling Bill, would he drive me? He said, can we go at lunchtime? I promise you he said that. Yeah.
I'd like to make an amendment to that motion.
I know it's
$5.75, Ms. Bailey said.
That's right. That's right. Make him pay. All right, the next item.
Yes, item B, we would like for the board to consider the approval of the certificate of substantial completion for the Independence High Magnet School football field lighting project by Geosport Lighting Systems.
Thank you, Ms. Dilly. The work is completed. The architects is working with the contractor on the remaining punch list items, and we're asking y'all to go ahead and approve the substantial completion for this project.
Do we have any comments?
I have questions.
Need a motion.
All right, we're going to do the motion first. We have a motion? Ms. Dominguez, second? We have a second? I'll second. Mr. Duncan? All right, discussion.
Okay, so I've been in contact with the coach a lot this week, and one of my concerns...
Could you talk in that mic?
Sure. One of the concerns I have is, okay, if it's completed and the punch list does not include his concessions loss, his gate loss, his program sales for us traveling, nor does it include fixing of the field that someone from LSU came and told him would have to be redone. I will agree to this certificate of completion if we can agree that we're going to pay for all of this to be done for this coach. I mean, if we're not holding this company liable for all of this stuff that still needs to be done, it's not on this punch list, do we have a percentage of this that's going to be held to the side for this stuff? Do we have a way of being able to sue this company for this stuff? I understand that someone from the central office told them it was satisfactory and it was completed. But these are things that we have to consider. I mean, he's out all of this money for his gate loss. He's out of money for transportation that he used that he shouldn't have had to use. He's out of money for a concession stand. Plus, the field still needs to be done. It's what you call trash grass that's on the football field. And Mr. Charlie Baglio wouldn't have accepted that in any kind of way if he would have been there with Mr. Charlie Baggs. So I don't think we need to accept the field the way it is at this time. It can be played on, which I don't know. Has the LHSAA approved us to play on it Friday night?
I sent an email to them today and asked and request that they go out and look at it as soon as possible. I was hoping they'd do it today, but I don't think they did that today.
Okay. Coach seems to think it's playable. We thought it was playable when we played the first game there, and they made us move to Laranja. So, there's just a lot of stuff that still needs to be done there, whether the board pays for this or whether this company's held liable. I know if I had a roof put on my house and the roofing company tore up my $5,000 flower beds or stuff that I had in my yard, I would hold them liable for fixing it. And I just feel like this company should be held liable for this. I don't think the school board should have to pay for this stuff that they messed up. And it's just my opinion, but if we're willing to pay for that, if y'all are willing to pay for that and can guarantee that we're going to do this in the near future, come March when spring comes to redo this field, I'll vote for this wholeheartedly. But I just really feel like the school board shouldn't have to pay the bill.
Mr. Duncan?
Can I discuss this with Mr. Moody a little bit as far as Ms. Abrams? Yes. So, Chris. I want to make sure I understand kind of where this is at, because a lot of the stuff that Ms. Abrams is talking about is, let's say to the extent that this company does have some liability for maybe some of these issues that she's talking about, does doing the substantial completion prohibit us from taking some other proper legal remedies that may be available to us if we choose to
Right.
do that?
That's a great question. That's exactly what we considered, and we've looked at that. We're in communication with the architect. We've done some research. We tried to find a way to put this under the punch list so that we would hold their money out, and that way be assured that everything would be fixed correctly. But it just doesn't fit that way, and I don't think we would have the legal right to do that. It would expose us to a claim back against the contractor for breach of contract for non-payment after the work was complete. But the contract also has a provision whereby we can make a claim for damages if something they've done is damaged any of our property. And so we have put them on notice of that. That was already been done by the architect. So we fully plan to pursue that claim. Mr.
Okay.
Abrams.
And so if we...
And that will be including all the damages we've suffered, including the loss of gate, et cetera. Now, can I stand here right this minute and tell you we'll get 100% of that back? I can't say that because they may have some defenses as we get into the facts about what has happened to the field, et cetera. But we fully plan to make them, make us whole there. And the contractor is required to have insurance, so he is insured for this as well. It's not just this contractor that would be standing behind that.
So as I understand what you're telling us is that we do have other remedies that do not require us to withhold substantial completion. And if we were to withhold substantial completion and not do it this other way, that it could expose us to some other liabilities contractually that we really ought to try to avoid if we're being good stewards of the taxpayers' monies.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm recommending. I think that's the right way and the most, it keeps your exposure the lowest.
But still allows us to pursue other
Right.
remedies.
There'll still be some money retained because there's a lien period, but that has to be used to satisfy any potential liens that are out there or any things that are on the punch list. So we can't unless this was a punch listable item, and it's not, we can't use the punch list to enforce that.
And also by doing the substantial completion certificate, it allows us to start using the field as well.
Exactly. So and it's not a perfect remedy, but I think that's the best course for you at this point.
All right. Thank you, sir.
And so you suggest that we approve this even though they didn't come out today and inspect it?
Yes, ma'am, because we're pursuing that claim no matter what. Whether you accept this or not accept this, we're pursuing the claim against them for the damage to the field and the sprinklers, et cetera, and for the loss of concessions and gate, et cetera.
And you think that if we approve this, that we could win that claim?
Well, I can't guarantee it. I think from
I
what
mean,
I understand is that they damaged it. And I understand also that they may have something to say about that. But the claim is there, and we plan to make it.
Do we have other comments?
You had said something about an inspection. My understanding is that there was an inspection done. There's been multiple inspections done, but there are still some things that need to get done. Is that right, Mr. Schnottelbach?
That's correct. The inspection we're referring to here is that the Louisiana High School Athletic Association's executive director said before we can play the next game, he wants to inspect the field.
Right,
So
but the
that's where
field
we're at.
condition falls into that separate category of other remedies that does not deal with whether the contract has been complete or not. Is that, am I?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, let me just clear it in it. So with the punch list from them, they've completed everything that they had to do, and everything that they have is ready and working.
I can't speak to that. Maybe Ms. Banks or Mr. Schnottelbach can.
The punch list is a list of items that still need to be completed. We had limited access into some electrical panels, so we're still having to confirm that. It's about $18,000 worth of work. Those funds will not be released until that punch list items have all been cleared.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're holding back that much until they complete it?
Until those punch list items are cleared, yes, ma'am. And that's in addition to the lien for the subcontract.
So by approving this tonight, we still have that hold?
Yeah, we'll still be holding those funds.
Okay,
And just, can I just be clear? And that's why it's called a certificate of substantial completion, not full completion. This is the normal process. We're following the normal process on a very large contract. And that was the point I was trying to make with Mr. Moody. This is a very large contract, and if we try to do some other process other than the normal process, we expose ourselves to liability unnecessarily with a very large corporation. And I think that's why, I believe that's what.
Right, we considered that option, but I think that would open you up for a liability.
Other comments?
The punch list will not stop us from using the field as long as the high school association says that the field is
Right,
ready to be
assuming the
used.
lights can be turned on, which I'm totally, that's possible.
Yes. So the switches and things that they're still having to do won't stop us from using the field.
And they won't come back and say, after using the field, that we tore up the field worse than that we actually tore up the field and that they didn't do it.
Well, we have documentation from the Louisiana High School Athletic Association that on September 27th, the field was in unplayable condition. So that's what we're going to stand on in our claim.
Not to mention
Not
the
just
fact
us
that
saying it, yeah.
And we have
we
pictures.
have a Sumner student. Sumner played Independence, the one game, the JV game, and had an injury. So dislocated hip. That was the one game that we did play before they said, hey, look, we don't need to play.
Well, I need to get that information. Was it on the bad part of the field?
Yeah, I wasn't at the game, but that's.
Shalmak, has the field ever been declared unusable before these contractors started?
Mr. Moore, I'm not sure about that. I know the field was used all last year, so it wasn't any issue with the field's condition the previous season.
Right, and that was my concern, was is this something that we had to repair the field every year? Have we had to do like major maintenance on it that would prevent any games being played? That would be my only concern here.
I'm not sure about the question or how to answer that question.
I don't think there's ever been a game that's been delayed at Independence High School field because of the damage to a field. I can tell you the coaches that have been there prior to Coach Shaffett have been meticulous about keeping that field in shape. Coach Corona, Coach Baglio, they were all meticulous about keeping that field in shape. So I can guarantee there've never been a game that was delayed because of field being torn up.
Yeah, the only issue that we've had really was just not enough lumens on the field to safely play a game, which is what brought us to the fact of changing the lights. So.
And the lights are working.
The lights do work, yes.
Any more discussion? All right, we had a motion and a second, so probably a roll call vote. Yes means we're going to approve it, and no means no, not.
Of substantial completion.
Substantial.
Mr. Mingus?
Yes.
Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Toler?
Yes.
Ms. Abrams?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
I'm voting yes because I spoke with Robin and she's the school board member in that district, and she said that we're going to accept it as this, but we'll still have some concerns. Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, general updates, Ms.
Just one.
Melissa?
Just one. I wanted to talk a little bit about next week. Well, the October 23rd and through the 31st is the National Red Ribbon Week. And so we're tongue-tied. We educate our youth about the negative effects of drugs, so we'll have that going on. Also on Wednesday, October the 23rd, we'll have Unity Day, where we're wearing orange across the district just in recognition of stop the bullying and to reduce bullying. It's just bullying awareness in our schools. Lots of activities in the month of October in regards to bullying behaviors and stopping that, and also drugs and educating our kids on the negative effects of drugs. So we'll be putting more of that information out, and you may be hearing about some of that in some of the schools you represent. Just wanted to mention that tonight.
Can I say something? I'm really happy that you've contained this to these particular days. last year we had Orange Day for days and days, and we had Red Day for days and days, and so I'm really glad you addressed that, Ms. Dilly. Thank you so much. All right. Is that it?
That's all, Madam President.
Personal privilege, Mr. Westmoreland.
Pass, I'm good.
Ms. Dominguez?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Mr. Moore?
I just want to acknowledge my youngest sister and her husband who have come out tonight. Thank you guys for coming out.
Mr. Bush?
Good.
All right. Ms. Steele, you have something else? Mr. Toller?
I will recognize we have some Southeastern students here, education majors. Good to have you. Thank you for participating.
Ms. Richards?
I'd just like to say that over the weekend, we had very good homecoming festivities in the north part, and everything was really, really nice, and I didn't really hear of any bad things happening, so I just want to shout out to the Kangaroos and the Warriors. The only thing was we couldn't make it to both. That was the only obstacle that we saw, that we couldn't come in fellowship. But other than that, it was just beautiful, and Facebook was just blown up with it. So we
Good.
really had a good time.
Mr. Duncan?
Mr. Bush was asking me why we chose Kentwood's colors for the anti-bullying campaign, and I wasn't sure if I knew the answer to that.
Because we're getting another state championship.
Oh,
That's the national color. That's the national color.
Ms. Abrams?
I'd just like to let you all know, starting on the 21st of October, we're going to start Penny Power in the schools for TARC. So if your kids come home asking for a change to bring home, and we've set a goal of $3,000 per school. If they raise $3,000 per school, Ms. Stilley has agreed to go kiss a pig at their assembly. So
Only for you, Miss Abrams. I would have kissed a pig.
So she's getting her puckers ready to go kiss those pigs, because LaRange Elementary does about $5,000 every year. So you're definitely going to be kissing a pig at LaRange Elementary, I can guarantee it. So it's going to be the 21st through the 25th.
The things I do, right?
The 28th through the 1st will be the second week, and then the third week is the 4th through the 8th. This coming week, starting on the 21st, is going to start with the Ponchatoula and Hammond schools.
Wait, so it's each school that raises $3,000, she comes to do a pig?
Yes, yes.
it's multiple?
It's multiple assemblies,
Multiple pigs?
multiple pig kissing.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's $3,000 per school.
You need to read your contracts closer.
Now, usually LaRange Elementary wins that Penny Power.
They
or the
do.
middle school.
They get out there and they raise some money. They have Miss Liuza does a great job over there. So challenging all these schools. LaRange has been doing it for the last 5 years.
All right, then. Okay, any other comments? Public input. We don't have any, right? Ms. Jenkins? None? All right. We have no executive session, so we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And a second. Second. All right, no objection.